hello and welcome back from the MLG studios here in New York City. We've been watching some Heart of the Swarm exhibition matches. Today was free-for-all. We got interrupted by the servers going down, which is fine.
Because they went down for a reason.
They went down for a reason, and that's because we got some new updates in Heart of the Swarm coming our way. And we're going to take the time that we're going to take playing more epic free-for-all action, actually going over the patch notes and seeing what we can learn, see what we can find out, and just enlightening ourselves and seeing what Blizzard is up to. So, that being said, shall we get started?
Let's do it.
All right, let's start with the Terran race. So, Terran race, we got the Barracks. We're going to start with that. Train Reaper no longer requires a Tech Lab add-on. What does that mean, Train Reaper?
It means you can build Reapers without Tech Lab. So you can build Reapers way earlier in the game.
Oh my
They
gosh.
come out way faster. And
So you could go...
And you could reactor them out as well. Right? So you can make a billion Reapers with ease at any point in the game you want. And if you're doing Marines, you can integrate a couple Reapers without a problem.
Huh.
So I would
Still require gas, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's broken, because like right now, how would you beat like Proxy 2X Reaper? Right? You wouldn't. You just die. But I have faith that Blizzard will integrate some other changes.
Which we might see a little bit later on today.
Right.
In
fact, I think we should actually, for the sake of convenience, scroll down a bit and get to the Reaper changes, because these two changes go hand in hand, right?
Right.
So,
I agree, yeah.
They changed the Reaper. Let's see. The battlefield awareness has been
So
removed.
you can't see up cliffs anymore. That's what that was.
Yes.
Let you see up cliffs and whatnot. That you can no longer do that. Movement speed increased from 3.38 to 3.75. That's significant. Nitro packs upgrades has been removed. Okay, that's fine.
So it's basically they start with Nitro packs. Is
Right.
What happens. They start with it.
Okay. Gauss pistol weapon damage decreased from 4
Plus 9.
and plus 5 versus light to 4.
So they got rid of their bonus damage to light.
Huh.
So now they just do 4 damage to everything. Well, 8 because it's 4 times 2. But
Now, can they still not hit static defense?
they can. They just don't throw their bombs.
Right, that's what I meant.
Yeah. They still are bad versus it. So right now Reapers are kind of bad in combat versus everything. They used to be good versus light and bad versus armored. Now they're bad versus everything. But you can produce them very easily. They start faster. So they're like a super easy to use good scout. They decided that the Reaper as a harass unit is not a great idea probably because Terran already has the Medevacs that have given them those nitro thrusters or whatever, and Terran also has Banshees, and so there's too much overlap there with the Reapers. Hellion drops, there's so many options they have that the Reapers don't really. There's no need to have that extra role there. So instead, they're going to use the Reaper as like a super scout.
So
because
like
it's fast, it's cheap, it's easy to produce. You just throw it around and...
It doesn't provide a lot of defense. I mean, you can still stick it in a bunker.
Yes.
And, you know, one Rax Reaper expands will be fairly good, I think.
I would say so. I mean, well, why wouldn't you just put a Marine in the bunker?
Well, because Reapers can go scout and stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah, so you could scout. Well,
yeah.
you would be a one Rax expand with the Marine, but then you do the gases expand, then you build your gas, and after like 4 Marines, you build a Reaper to scout.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And then it'll save you to scan. It's
And
much
you have
cheaper.
to, like, that's typically
still,
when you send an SCV, you send a Reaper.
It can still be annoying too. I mean, it doesn't like 2-shot workers, but it'll still, you know, like, they'll have to react or you're going to eventually kill a couple workers. And with its new speed, it could kite workers insanely easily. Like, it won't even be close.
3.75.
Yeah, I mean, a worker won't touch a Reaper.
Yeah, it's not like
again.
as an
And neither
opponent
will
to a
Zealot
Reaper, you can't just laugh at it because it can still move pretty fast and kite.
Yeah.
Still has the same attack range. All right, pretty cool change there. Now, Hellbat attack speed changed from 1.9 to 2. The Infernal Pre-Igniter upgrade no longer increases Hellbat weapon damage. Napalm spray weapon damage increased from 10 plus 9 versus light to 18 plus 12 versus light. That's a lot of damage. Splash damage radius decreased from 110 to 45.
So, I think that the idea of this is that they're slightly not as amazing against Zerglings, because before they would 2-shot Zerglings, but they 2-shot like 18 Zerglings with each hit. Now they'll still 2-shot Zerglings, but they will
a less amount.
So
the radius is decreased.
Yeah, it won't be like you make 3 Hellbats and all of a sudden Zerglings are worthless. But they're going to be much better for Zealots now, because their base damage is much higher. Even though the area is smaller, but Zelts are kind of a little fatter anyway, and you might not like the straight up damage is more important than the AOE versus strong unit like a Zelt. So I think the idea is they're trying to make mech better without breaking mech and TVZ, where like you make 3 Hellbats and then like, well, Zerg, you can't make Zergans anymore.
Trying to make mech a little bit more viable in the early game
Versus Protoss,
and potentially, you could be aggressive with them.
Oh yes, that's true.
In theory, because before, like obviously they're not as strong, and now they seem significantly stronger, at least against, as you said before, the smaller amount of Protoss units. So that should be interesting. Though Hellion drops are scary enough as it is. On to the Medevac. Cata something reactor. I never knew how to say that. No longer improves the healing rate. Caduceus, I like it. No longer improves the healing rate of Medevacs. Upgrade cost decrease. So what does it do then? If it.
So it'll still increase. It'll do 2 things. It'll still give him more start energy,
right.
And the change that a lot of people didn't realize is that it actually boosted the efficiency of the beam. So you'll lose energy at a slower rate.
Okay.
So it'll use up less energy as you're using the beam.
But so
it basically all it means now is that the Medevacs will not run out of energy as fast.
But it's still wait, I'm confused. It still turns blue, right? And makes I don't know. Okay.
I have no idea. We'll have to ask Blizzard that one.
Okay.
Or test it out. I mean,
the upgrade cost has been decreased, and the speed time, the time it takes, 80 seconds and 100. So
I mean that's fair because it's a much weaker upgrade. Perhaps they thought it was just too strong when like Marines beat everything. That's okay.
Yeah.
Because they kind of.
Now I like this change. Emergency thrusters ability renamed to ignite afterburners.
That's the best balance change ever.
That's a lot more fun to say.
Yeah, it is.
There's the ignite afterburners. We were making fun of that.
And imagine if you were like, if you're a Medevac pilot, right?
Yeah.
And you're saying like the guys are coming in on you. You're gonna crash.
You have to tell
you have to tell the engineer, the
yes.
guy in the engine. You have to tell him to give me that extra juice.
Yeah.
Would you rather say start the emergency thrusters, or would you say ignite the afterburners? The second one,
of course.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Clearly better.
Good change, Blizzard. Good change. All right, Ravenseeker missile energy cost decreased from 125 to 75. Primary target damage reverted from 300 to 100. Once again, deals splash damage. The delay time prior to firing has been increased from 3 to 5.
This is a lot of changes.
So how much damage does it do now? Okay, so
it does splash now.
So it does 100 to
primary target.
The primary target.
Splash, I have no idea because it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Maybe.
What does it normally do, or what did it?
Before they changed it.
Yeah.
Well, there was different ranges. So within a certain radius, it used to do 125, right?
Yeah.
And it would do or it used to do 160. Sorry. And then there was a certain radius that still did 160, so anything really close, and then it did like 80 and then 40. It would say it was like 100% damage, and then a larger circle concentric outside that would have been 50% damage, and then 25% even larger circle. So it's not clear what the numbers are because they didn't give us numbers.
The energy cost, I kind of like that. That means you can do 2.
You know what it really means?
Huh.
Is that it's going to be...
right when you pop, right when it pops.
If you have the upgrade, yes.
Sure.
And you can harass workers like super well now. Because, yeah, it does less damage, but the splash means you can kill like 8 workers with each Seeker. Even if it's like half damage splash, that'll still be enough to one-shot a worker, right?
But the delay time has been
5,
increased.
so they can react to it. Because I think 3 seconds, you just run there, boom, kill the workers, get out. And it wouldn't be very good, right?
Yeah, like baneling bombs.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be like a baneling bomb that you cast from 13 range. So,
that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
You
cool.
put all your photon cannons, and it can still shoot over it. So there's no way to stop this type of secret missile harass unless you have air control, or you just have to have good map awareness and then move your probes. Yeah. So I mean, but then it still gets to pull the probes. So it's gonna be fun watching Raven.
And then even if it gets off, you can split your probes.
You can only lose one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's 75 energy, so I think it's gonna be strong. But I like strong spells. And I think it's cool.
I like the Raven too. Like it'll just if we can get more Ravens in the game, I think that's great. All right, Reaper, we're doing through. Siege tanks no longer require an upgrade in order to enter siege mode. So you can just make your tank and it can siege.
It's interesting. It might. I wonder if certain like Hellion siege tank pushes for Zerg will be too strong. Like one base, two fact.
Those Hellbats. I remember where.
Yeah. I mean, well, you need an army to make Hellbats, so.
Oh,
that'll
that's
slow you
true.
down.
Okay.
But even just if you had like 10 Hellions and then make 2 siege tanks and just go kill Zerg. Because normally, how does Zerg defend against 10 Hellions?
Roaches or spines.
But it's mostly a wall, right?
Or queens, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess now they'll have to go roaches. Because roaches,
Yeah.
I mean, 2 siege tanks, roaches.
And that's
could
typically
still...
what you do against mech, and if they're making siege
Yeah,
tanks.
that's true. But if it's a one base, it hits so
Sure.
fast.
Oh, one base.
You'd have to scout it.
Yeah.
Which
absolutely.
I guess is not bad. Making people scout is never a bad thing.
I agree. Now you know the idea behind my maps.
Exactly. The black maps.
Oh,
You make
yeah.
people scout.
Oh yeah. Siege tanks no longer. Wow. That's like Protoss pushes. Because remember, there's always those Protoss pushes where like maybe they 1-on-1s. Dude.
Well, Tyrants are always. Oh yeah. I mean, 1-on-1. It's only. I mean, they have the time to get it anyway, so it's more just the cost. Just be like one more siege tank into 1-on-1.
Sure.
But you have the Mothership core now as well, so.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
I mean, yeah. I think I don't think 1-on-1's gonna be too strong.
All right. So speaking of Mothership cores, Mothership, the Vortex ability has been removed from the game.
It was dumb anyway.
It was, but
Yeah.
I liked it.
You know what? They should just say Protoss to be removed from the game. Just get
Like, I don't. I still want I want like an excuse to make a Mothership. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, but look, read more. The time warp ability has been moved to the Mothership core and the Mothership, so it's still kind of pointless to get a Mothership, but your Mothership core can do time warp.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's more of a, but a Mothership core is kind of slow, clunky, whereas Oracles are fast. So this is a big nerf to time warp. Maybe I think they should make time warp actually stronger then, because you can only have a single Mothership core Mothership, so they should make the ability stronger.
Oh.
And also it's slower, so it's harder to get.
That's
in position.
true.
I think they need to buff time warp. I kind of
because you can only as you said, you can only have one of them.
Yeah, I don't mind the change, but I think they need to buff.
Obviously, like
or
the
to buff
Protosses are
time
just
warp.
that much more safe in the early game now. Because like with
This is true.
when Mothership
Well,
cores have time warp,
until you read the one right above it,
the Envision.
the Envision ability has moved to the Oracle. So now,
detection.
it means that you have to go either Stargate or Robo. You can't do these like I was having fun doing these like builds where I just got because I like Zealots.
Sure.
So I would just go like a bunch of Nexuses and then a bunch of Zealots and a bunch of upgrades in charge, and I didn't have to worry about detection because I could use the Envision.
Yeah.
And it was really
you can
cool.
still do that, but with the cannon, I guess.
Yeah, but you have to make cannons everywhere. Like with Envision, you could wait, use Envision, and then make cannons, and Envision will buy you time, kind of like a scan. It's like scan.
Yeah.
Like you can't use Envision.
And you can get it fast too, and
yeah.
like right when your Mothership core pops out, you can use it. Because I had games where like I would make DTs.
DTs come out fast, so you pretty much have to go Stargate or Robo now. You have to attack.
I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like Zealots, and this means I'll make less Zealots, which I mean, less Zealots is worse than more Zealots. Oh, you know what it does mean though? The Oracle is going to be really good at killing creep tumors.
Oh.
You can just fly one around, hit the Envision, and then hit the kill stuff ability.
F, E,
and then
one of those.
C.
C.
Well, Envision was something else, but C was the kill stuff on the Oracle.
Yeah.
And then D was turn off the kill stuff.
Rays of death. Huh, that's a really good point.
So yeah, it'll be kind of fun. You can run around and kill creep tumors, which I don't like creeps, so. I mean, I
as
like
a Protoss player,
as a Protoss player, yeah, it's fun to kill it.
Yeah. All right, so Zerg. Speaking of which, Infestor fungal growth damage. Okay, so they're doing something to the Infestor. Fungal growth damage decreased from 30 plus 10 versus armor to 30.
So it doesn't
that.
destroy Stalkers and Void Rays and Vikings. Vikings is a big one actually. Vikings is the biggest one because Vikings have low life. So to them, it's more important to do less damage. Right? Like the Protoss unit is a little beefier. Of course, it's great for Protoss, but it's even bigger for Vikings. Yeah, I mean, in fungal growth is still such a strong ability.
Yeah, do you still think they need to do something to the speed of the projectile, or?
No, I think it's fine. I mean, like, as long as fungal growth locks units down, like, you could actually get rid of damage would still be used, probably. It's just such a good ability.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you got rid of damage entirely, probably not, but.
It's not the end of the world anymore if your stalkers get fungal. I mean, it's still pretty bad, but.
Well, I think it's more the Vikings.
Yeah,
or Void Rays. Void Rays would be huge.
Yeah. And Void Rays are a little bit better now in Runner's form. I think we can agree.
Yes, they are.
Mutalisk Regeneration passive ability renamed Tissue Regeneration. and its tooltip has been updated to improve clarity.
Sounds good. Fair. Yeah.
Nothing
I'm
much
all
to say about
for tissue regeneration. Sounds like a pretty accurate name.
Yeah. Wow. Well, those are your changes.
You know,
What's your overall thoughts on
it's
these?
interesting. Like, on some of the patch notes before, there was like 3 pages more changes, but I feel these ones they're all big changes.
Yeah.
And I like big changes because it makes players make big changes in their play, gets into different styles, and you can really see. It gives you a better idea of the potential of the game. That's the idea when you do balance patches for a beta, you do huge changes. You're saying, okay, now this is gonna be overpowered, so you'll play that, and then we can see with the way the game looks when people play that, and is that something you want to encourage or not? And then I mean they dial back once they hit a more finished product. Excuse me. But I like these changes. I think there's not too many that you can't. Like, if you have too many changes, it's hard to tell which ones are good and bad. It's less obvious. There's less variables when you have less changes, but they all have a point and they're all big, which is good.
That's something that people were talking about a lot in Wings of Liberty, where everyone was talking about the War Prism. Oh, it's such a good unit, such a good unit. No one uses it, and then all of a sudden, they buffed it a little bit, and then everyone started using them, right?
Yeah.
So it's these little things that Blizzard has been doing. It's kind of cool, just to encourage players to try different strategies, just to see how these things work. Of course, this is the beta. It's still
so they're making
change.
In the beta. If you want to encourage people, you gotta do big changes. Whereas, of course, in a release product, you wouldn't do anything as big as this.
Right.
You do like a 10% buff or 5% buff, not a get rid of the ability and give it to something else, or like the Hellbat one was huge, right? Or the Reaper one is really, really big. The Reaper one's one of the most interesting ones. It's totally changed the entire role of the unit.
Huh. I wonder what we're gonna start seeing. Of course, as like the server just went down, during a game, and you're gonna be able to use these are gonna be implemented whenever it comes back up. I'm not sure what the timing is on that. But yeah, that's why the server went down, because Blizzard is implementing these changes as we speak. Do you have a favorite change or least favorite change in this list?
I would say my it's not obvious. I say my favorite change is the Ravenseeker missile one.
Yeah.
Followed by the Reaper one.
Ooh, I like those.
My least favorite change is moving a time warp ability, and I don't like any of the Protoss changes. Well, removing Vortex is fine because the ability was
didn't do anything.
Yeah, it was like a Yamoto cannon on a mothership. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
It was worse than Yamoto cannon because it couldn't target massive. So it was just like, well, get rid of the Marine. Boop, boop. It's like, hey, one less Marine. So
I mean, it's terrible for that Marine.
Yeah, that's true. He might have had a family.
Yeah.
Who knows? They're all prisoners anyway, right? Or no, that's the Marauders. I don't know. One of them is all prisoners. Maybe that's the Reaper. The Reapers are all prisoners.
I don't know the lore
That's what they
very
are.
well.
But yeah, the Mothership Oracle ones, I'm not so sure about. It's almost, I don't like them, not necessarily because I think they're bad, but because they made these big changes to the other races, and you're like, well, Protoss, we'll just switch a couple of your abilities. You don't even actually use that. Well, Time Warp uses it much, but it's. I wanted to see like Immortal now shoots air and flies. I mean, I don't know, something that's bigger. Like
Colossus can use blink.
Like the Raven change is big, right?
It is.
I don't know.
Now, the Mothership. I wish they would add in the Mothership abilities from the beta of Wings Liberty. Did you see those?
Oh, they had the Planet Cracker,
Yeah.
where you just build a mothership and you walk across the map,
And like a
and
big
it kills everything.
beam. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the Vortex from back then. It would suck. It would slow down enemy air objects or something, and then they would all disappear or something.
So you fly into the missile turrets and you put the Vortex on it, and then all the missiles would get stuck into the black hole.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But it wouldn't
there's
suck
another
your
one too.
mothership in the black hole for some reason. But don't worry about that.
Yeah. There's another one
Physics is
too
weird in
where
StarCraft.
there's an awesome video about it, but those abilities need to be added to the Mothership. I think that'd be cool. It was called a black hole, and it killed units.
That's
Just told me.
yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
They need to make it back when a mothership
Might
you
be
build it,
too
you just win the game.
Yeah.
That's what they
Of course,
should
it
do.
probably costs a lot.
Yeah.
Require every single building in the tech tree.
It'll be like
Cost
that.
1,000.
Oh, remember that the April Fool's joke that they played with the Terran, where you can make this giant Terran robot, but it requires you to It's called Terratron,
I
I
didn't see
think.
this. You're gonna have to show me this.
So yeah, like the Terran, the only way to make this is to sacrifice your whole base, because it requires like the command center like
Oh,
sits
that's
there,
so
then
cool.
the barracks like jumps on top of it, and then like the depots like
Every race
all
needs something
all
like
the
that.
buildings turn into this giant like transformer
That
guy,
might take a lot of GPU power.
and then he walks around and kills everything.
Yeah, I like it.
He has a chainsaw
Nice.
that he can use. Like a carrier flies in, he just lifts his chainsaw arm up and just slices the carrier in two.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, those changes are coming, I'm sure. But anything else you want to say about these notes? I mean,
I think we're set.
yeah, I mean, overall,
I like it
I'm
though.
okay
I
with
like it
I
overall.
like it. I think it's gonna be fun to
The
experiment.
Terran ones are cool, but they always make cool ones with Terran.
They do.
It's unfair. Life is unjust. Anyways,
They're trying to make Terrans more relevant because a lot of people have been saying that that Terrans have been. It's like the same sort of stuff in Heart of the Storm. Like a
Terran, that's like the opposite of true.
Well,
Like Widow Mines, Hellbats, they got the most stuff.
I know, but how viable are those as the game goes along? Is the
Widow Mines are crazy viable.
Well, you get an observer and you can see them and they're dead. Just like really cool stuff. But I think
Yeah.
like the Raven thing, that's something really cool that Terrans can do
It
much
is.
later in the game.
Or even early in the game.
Yeah, just rush Raven after going
Expansion. You just get a little expansion, get a Banshee and a Raven. Banshee your asses, and your next your asses, the Raven drops the Seeker missile.
Yeah, Ravens are good unit.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Any questions about the patch notes? Tweet at us at Axeltoss and at Axslav. But I think that's going to do it of our patch note walkthrough. Of course, look out for those changes. They're going to hit the Heart of the Storm beta. They're hitting as we speaking, so definitely go try them out. If you don't have a beta key just yet, you can pre-order. Whenever you pre-order Heart of the Storm, I think you get a beta key. So there's your solution if you really want a beta key. I think that's a good solution. But guys, that's going to do it for now. Coming up next, we're going to have Rules of Engagement. It is Mechanics of the Bazaar.
It's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern, and like you said, it's going to be some Bazaar builds. Got some Battlecruiser action, Kwai Rice versus Fantasy.
Ooh.
All you guys that have Fantasy in your pro team, you can see how he played in MVP tournament.
Oh.
A couple other great games there as well. Effort versus Flash from the playoffs.
That was an awesome series.
Some Roach Nidus Queen action. And then we also have some Protoss play from the Korean qualifiers from MLG Dallas. It's going to be San Zenith or San.
Zenith.
He was on Zenith. This is I don't forget what team he was during that, but
FX was he on FXO?
I don't know. It's going to be Sand versus Inori on Tomb Valley. A little bit of cool play about how to use mobility
That's
to
the
gain a
build.
further advantage.
That's my standard build in PvP, so definitely tune into that to get yourself an awesome build for the PvP matchup, which I know is hard to come by for a lot of people.
It is,
here and
yeah.
there. Yeah, guys, that's going to do it for today's Heart of the Storm exhibition match. Of course, it was a free-for-all. It started out with a free-for-all, then Blizzard decided they want to throw a patch at us. They're like, all right, we'll take it in stride, and we'll talk about the patch they threw at us, and that's what we did. So, guys, stay tuned to MajorLeagueGaming.com. Coming up next, it's going to be Rules of Engagement with Axslav at 7 p.m. Eastern. Don't go to